Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning War. Today is Monday, the, the 29th of June. We're almost at the end of June. There's been a lot of attention this last week, a week and a half or so about testing as we've experienced some increases in the number of cases and in the COVID-19 pandemic, and whether or not we're doing enough testing or not enough testing has been quite a debate, and it's interesting because I think about testing and measuring and how important it is to be able to determine how you're doing on a goal, and when you set a goal, why it's important what the importance of testing and measuring. First of all, when you set a goal, you have to have the specifics, what we call the SMART goals. It's got to be specific and time measurable. And you've got to make sure that you know exactly what you want. You have to set a time that it needs to be done by. You have to set some action steps. You're not going to get it done. You can't just say, well, I want this goal, and that's, I'm going to wish and hope it gets done, but you've got to actually set some action steps. And once you set the action steps and you start working on it, then it's important that you do measuring and testing. You can see where you are, so you can make sure you are headed in the right direction, or maybe if not, what you need to do to get yourself back to where you want to go to get this goal by the certain amount of time. Same way, then after you've done a little bit of that changing of the steps, you don't change the goal, you change the steps. Once you do that, then you can go back to testing and measuring, and then you evaluate again. It's just a continuous thing. It's something that you do. Is how you measure where you're at and what you need to do. And as you continue toward your goal, you continue to have more information about what's needed to do it. When you first start out, you don't always have all the information you need, and as you go on, you'll get it. It's important with any goal you want to achieve, whether you want to lose weight, or you want to earn a certain amount of money, or have a certain number of sales calls, or build a business, or um, whatever you want to do, save for a vacation, whatever you're doing, how you do your budgeting or whatever, it's important that you stop and see where you're at and test where you're at, or measure where you're at to see where you're at. Now the problem is a lot of people don't like to do the tests and measurements because they're afraid of the results are going to discourage them, and they want to keep themselves positive. And if the results aren't what they'd hoped they were going to be, they think, well, it's maybe I ought to just stop. Maybe it's not worth it. So the attitude you have when you go into testing and measuring is you have to take the attitude that no matter what the results are, you're going to accept them kind of objectively and take them for what they're worth and keep working on and so you can achieve those goals. Without the testing or the measuring, it's impossible to plan the next action steps. Because people think, well, I'm going to try and lose weight, but I know I've had a couple bad days, so I don't want to step on the scales now to find out how much I've gained. I kind of feel like I'm a little heavy, so I don't want to step on the scales. Well, it's just the opposite. That's the time you really should be stepping on the scales, because then you have a shorter time period from the last time you weighed yourself to now to determine what you were doing, what you need to change, how you need to change things. And the test and the measurement should never be thought of as a sign that you're failing or it's an embarrassment. Instead, it's got to show that you're aware of where you are and you're aware of what you need to do next. I think about this awful playing golf and keeping your own score on the scorecard, and you want to get yourself down to maybe you want to shoot 100 for an 18-hole run, but you're having a couple bad holes, where you think, well, maybe I'll just won't count that shot, or I'll pick that ball. I lose that ball in the rough. I'll drop another one, or I'll do something that's not count that stroke. so that I can have a good score. Well, that might make you feel good in the long run. I mean, in the short time, no, I'm sorry, not the long run, the short, but in the long run, it's not going to help your golf game because you're going to see a score much lower than what you actually had, and you're going to think that's what you have. So it's not really, the only way you're going to be able to beat that is to continue to disregard the truth and cheat a little on it. So think about that as we talk about testing, how important it is. The tests aren't what causes the problem. The measurements do not cause the problem. They allow us to fix the problem. And that's how we have to look at things as we go for our goals. Have a wonderful week. I'm looking forward to talking to you next week. And keep safe and wear a mask.